Hi guys, how's it going today? Good, I hope. I'm having a fabulous day so far. Nice and sunny here, as you can see. This is green screen, because you can probably also see I'm really green. But I just pointed the camera out the window and took that picture just a second ago. So this is what it's like in the land of Merlin today. And today we are going to do a reading using the amazing Lost Tarot of Nostradamus. As long as none of the cards are too green and you can see through them. I don't know, we'll have to see how that one goes. Stay tuned, find out. This is the mystery. Anyway, basically you can pick a card, you can be your own psychic. This is always the way with my readings. But let's take this deck out now and actually have a look at it. It's an amazing deck. It really is an amazing deck. It's different to any deck I've ever seen before. You might have seen a review of this deck on my channel. Well, not years ago, but many months ago. I can't remember when I got it, but it's quite a long time ago. The Lost Tarot of Nostradamus. So you can see through the back a bit. Oh, that's unfortunate, isn't it? But it really is very basic. There are no trees on it at all. Not that that's a good thing, you know, but that's just kind of not what this deck is about. And of course, Nostradamus himself never produced a tarot deck, but he was an incredibly gifted psychic. I would have said a medium as well. He was gifted at so many things, actually, and his predictions tend to come true. So we've got a combination of that here by John Matthews and Will Kingan, the two people who, there's the names on the book there. Probably in mirror writing by now, but who knows? And who cares? Because I'm going to tell you again, John Matthews and Will Kingan created this deck. It is an absolutely amazing deck, quite medieval looking, not the most colourful deck ever, but you know, it really does great things with the tarot. It really does. So let's bring some cards out and have a shuffle and see what we get. Okie dokie. It's quite a thick deck actually. Let me just show you everything we've got here. That's really, you know, it's one of the thickest decks I own. It really is. And you can see trees through that. Where on earth is the green in that? I would love to know. I might have to stop this and just kind of do it with an ordinary camera. But I thought it'd be nice to get the trees in. I really did. Okay, let's see what we've got then. Okay, we'll turn over card number one. Oh, now this is quite a good card to get for card number one. It's actually not number one, it's number 0 in the major arcana. So by now, you know it's going to be the Fool. And you can totally see the trees through it. So I'm going to have to fix this, guys, just a So here we are. I've spread it out. I've turned the Fool over because I'd already turned the Fool over. So no point turning it over again. But here are our 5 cards from the Lost Tarot of Nostradamus. And I've kind of picked out some crystals to go with them. With the Fool, we've got some black tourmaline because it's always good to be grounded with the Fool. Of course it is. It's that kind of energy. Very open, very optimistic kind of card. Now with this deck, there are couplets from actual writing by Nostradamus that go with each card. And this is, it says, from the original quatrain, verse 76. And it says, he will pitch his tent in free places rather than be lodged in cities. So there's a real interesting take on the Fool there. And this card is really then, in that case, all about being a bit out there, being a bit optimistic, like we were saying, but of course, staying grounded. And there's nothing like being out of the city, being close to Mother Nature for the sake of grounding. Now, it's not always possible for people to escape the city. Obviously, I know that. Obviously, I understand that. But believe me, friends, if you live in a big city and the countryside seems so far away, remember, it's only a few feet down. You know, even when there's subway tunnels and pipes and stuff running through the ground, that is the ground it's running through. So you can tune into that. You can listen to Mother Earth behind all the crazy stuff, or underneath all the crazy stuff that's been put on top of her. So carefree journeying, foolish wisdom, innocence, clarity, a bit unpredictable, this card as well. So this arouses curiosity. Extravagance can get involved here. It's always important not to be over extravagant, but that is definitely one of the indications here. and can be a bit nonsensical as well. There's a wandering feeling about this. There's the journeying fool moving forward, and moving forward from the tower, which is not at all the tower of destruction. It's standing strong there, but he's journeying away from it. He's ready to make things happen. And because he's outside the world, the fool, this is why he has no number. You know, this is why he's not number 1, he's number 0, but he is the first card in the deck. Always portrayed as a man, or nearly always actually. Not in the Tarot in Wonderland deck, but we're not using that one right now. But you know, both genders come into this, they really do. And so it's about leading the way, walking backwards in front of people. You know, does that make any sense? That's what people say is truly foolishness, but the people we call fools are doing it for a reason. No two ways about it. So it's a blank page, you know, waiting for words to be written that will explain this journey. And those words can't really be written until the journey at least starts happening. And the words won't really make sense until the end of the journey. But this is it, guys. We never really know where we're headed in life. So the thing to do is enjoy the journey. And if you haven't started yet, set off on the journey. If you've been journeying a long time, this is a new leg of your journey. And I'm not saying throw caution to the wind and just do whatever you want. Of course, we've got to be careful. That's our own personal responsibility in life. But it's all out there, you know, so you might as well make that journey out there to start making things happen, looking in new directions, to say the very least. And this brings us to card number 2. Let's turn this one over, see what we've got here. And this is the 6 of Stars. So let's see what the 6 of Stars is all about. And the 6 of Stars continues the journey. It is all about journeying. Now, the suit of stars relates to the planet Mercury and, to a large extent, the element Mercury as well, closely associated with planet Mercury and, of course, alchemy, in which Mercury, the metal, is something to work on. And in terms of the tarot, it means the question needs to be refined until it's clear and we can recognize the answer. So we're on our way to finding answers here with this card. The 6 of Stars particularly is really about the big journey of life that we're all going through, whether that's a journey away from events or a journey towards events. And we've got an olive branch here, so there's a journey towards some forgiveness here going on too, and that's important for all of us in our lives, because there are so many reasons why we might go on a journey. It could be to another country, could be a new place of work, or a journey towards forgiveness, you know, and that then ties into the journey of the spirit, the spiritual soul, the spiritual self, beyond life, into the other side of this life. So there's journeying, there's travelling, there's a holiday involved maybe. This might be relating to a holiday that's coming up in your life. It's up to you to decide that, really. You know, you've got to sort of pick out what you can, and I'm sure your psyche will help you work all this stuff out. But there's a messenger here. Mercury is the messenger of the gods, and there's a definite will to overcome negativity, which again we're seeing in the olive branches there. So number 6, the 6 of Stars. The journey continues. I wonder, will the journey continue through the rest of the cards? This one is going to be the heart of the matter. Number 3. Let's turn this one over. Ooh. They're such nice thick cards, they're not easy to get hold of, but there you go. I managed to get hold of it. So this one is the 8 of Moons, and there is some magic to think about. And just before we get into that, I did actually forget to read out the couplet that goes with the 6 of Stars. So let's do that first. Between two rivers, one will be trapped. Barrels and casks will be joined to pass beyond. Whoa, there is the mystery of Nostradamus. And yet the mystery continues now as we go into the suit of Moons, and it's number 8. Now the suit of Moons is associated with silver. That's the metal, the element that goes with the suit of Moons. So it's a mutable kind of energy, and it can manifest as emotional energy for that reason. In alchemy, it stands for the point at which the base substance is completely purified. So for the journey to go on, we're really looking at purification of intent and everything to do with that. Really getting to the bottom of what the journey of life is all about and where it's trying to take us. And it is the heart of the matter card, so that makes a whole lot of sense. Now the couplet that goes with this one which I'll do now in case I forget again. During the great regnant king's reign, the great brass gates will be opened by force. So what it's saying really, the great regnant king means the great reigning king. So it's the great reigning king's reign. And I'm glad we haven't got the other kind of rain in the sky in West Wales today, actually, because we have had a great deal of that. And that rain thing that we've had, the big storms we've been having, not just here, all over the world at the moment, are like those great brass gates which are being opened by force. You know, Mother Nature just kind of forces our hand, and in doing that, forces our hands. We just have to go with the flow of the energy. Now, this card is about attachment, maybe being a bit timid, maybe being quite sort of tender in your dealings with other people, because there's doubt and there's fear of what the outcome's going to be and what the outcome is all about. So whether you're taking on a new role in the workplace, maybe a new relationship, you're going to be uncertain. Uncertainty is everywhere in life. It's a fact of this walk through life that we're on. So there's a strange sense of disappointment that can easily overwhelm us. And if you feel drawn to follow a certain path, feelings of fear and timidity may overwhelm you. You kind of got to be intrepid, really, but it's natural to feel the other way about it. So this is, you know, it's another travel card. It's all about traveling, not the kind of travel card where you get on the train for free, but, you know, it's a kind of travel card of the tarot. So we are definitely going places here. And it is about a spiritual journey. It's got to be when the moon's involved, has it not? Okay. Now then, we move forward, and we move forward to card number 4. Turn this one over and see what we've got. And it's a number 5. And it's the 5 of Spheres. Okay, let's take a look down the rabbit hole of the 5 of Spheres and see where it's taking us. Hard work by the look of it. So we are well and truly on the journey of the suit of spheres here. The suit of spheres is associated with the metal lead, and it actually represents the pentacles as well. These suits don't relate all that closely to the traditional tarot meanings, and I would strongly suggest you kind of go with them as they are. Go with the flow of what this deck is showing us, and the wisdom that Nostradamus is actually revealing to us. Because, okay, he didn't produce these cards, but his couplets are all over the place. And so there's an association with the planet Saturn here. There's the beginning of the state of blackness where matter is like putrefying and dissolving. So in tarot terms, it's the point at which the question gets sifted through and looked through for deeper meanings, and looking out for unnecessary distractions. You know, it's the process of purifying the element. In other words, purifying the journey of life as well. So 5 of Spheres, the couplet that goes with this one says, "The sublime form, invisible to the naked eye, will be verified by obsessive thoughts." So we're really kind of not just thinking outside the box with this card, friends, we're thinking inside the box as well, and going through the things that really keep us ticking over, the questions of life then that get us guessing and keep us guessing. Now, the suit of pentacles is originally all to do with money and abundance, in other words. In this case, it's more to do with the lack of it, actually. This card tends to be associated with loss, the 5 of pentacles, and hence the 5 of spheres. So there's the possibility of like destitution, penury. In the traditional tarot, this card is where people are being, there's like a crippled guy on a crutch and someone who looks very cold with a shawl pulled around their head, walking along past a beautifully warm window with nice glowing yellow light coming from it. And there's hard work, there's a battle, there's an axe and there's a sword. So it's hard work, it's strife, it's pretty difficult, and there is that sense of loss. But it's the failure to achieve what you've been trying to achieve on your journey that might bring disaster into the picture. And the essential meaning of this card isn't about failure, though. Really, quite the opposite, because it's through the disasters along the way that we really learn, that we really make ourselves kind of safe and that much more clear in our task and about what we feel about our task and where we're going. For example, we have just had 9/11. If you're watching this on the day it goes out, we're only a few days away from the 11th of September, September 11th, and what a terrible disaster that was. And I don't want to make light of the dreadful things that happened and the poor souls that lost their lives so horribly, but we learned so much from that. We're very, very unlikely ever to see a disaster like that again, because we've reacted to it. It's made us put rules in place, and it's made us aware that things could be that way. All right, so there's a fair bit of strife in this card, but there's a nice white bird up at the top, looking very dove-like to me. So we've got the dove of peace showing up again, because we've got the dove of peace here. This time there's no olive branch, but the olive branch is kind of implied by the fact that these poor souls have gone through what they've gone through, and they've learned what they've learned. So a card indicating difficulty here. It's really quite an awkward, sort of difficult energy that goes with the Five of Pentacles, and as here with the Five of Spheres. But there are ways forward, absolutely always ways forward, friends. So keep looking for those ways forward. Don't be disheartened if something in your life has made it difficult for you. So card number 4, and this brings us to our outcome. What's going to be the outcome card? What is going to be number 5? Come here, come here. This looks a bit more fun. Oh, Judgment. Now then, judgment is a heavy word, is it not? It's kind of quite a scary thought. But this is a medieval understanding of the word judgment, which has much more to do with balance. So it's a real good outcome card, because things are very much coming into balance. It's number 20. Let's bring it closer to the camera. It's number 20 in the major arcana. So really very positive energy indeed here as we think about things coming into balance. And it's exactly what we would want if we're going through the Five of Spheres, the Five of Pentacles there. And there never was such a card of different strokes for different folks, because different people are going to experience this differently. I guess that's true of all the cards, but most particularly judgment, because as well as being a balance thing, it refers to your own judgment as well, how you kind of judge situations, what you make of things. And this is what makes us all different, individual people. This is why every journey is so different. The couplet that goes with this from quatrain, which I think means chapter number 7, verse 14. Scythes will come to expose the land. Monumental urns will be opened. So it's a great turning over of things, a great pushing forward. So it's a call to rise, not necessarily to rise to heaven, but to rise to a new direction, a new purpose in life. In that sense, it's a bit like the death card, which in most cases isn't about a physical state of death, but an inner state of death. You know, the closing of one door for another door to open. Judgment is, like I said, different for everybody. Some are going to see it as a judgmental figure coming into your life, or maybe an organisation that has powers of change over your actual life. Other people are going to see it as their own inner judge. Continuing with the analogies, a bit like the hermit, actually. I'm struggling for words here because I very rarely read with this deck, but it is so worth it. It really is. So this card is its balance. We've got XX in Roman numerals, the 20 there, and it's about change, renewal, judgment, self-assessment, strong opinions as well, which we all have, and we have them for a reason. It's about taking things into account, and it is actually all about outcomes, so it's a great outcome card for this reading. Promotion, decision, restoration. So what are you going to push forward? What decisions are you going to make about the situation you're in? Whatever you do, guys, it's always good to keep thinking, keep deciding. Sometimes we really do need to take a break from that. That's an absolute fact. We saw that in earlier cards in the spread, actually. But we can't be taking a break forever, and we can't divert our gaze from the path that we want to be on, because that is the spiritual mission in life. That's why we were put on this earth. So we've got to keep on making this journey. And the judgment guy here has got a wand and he's got an axe. So he can make things happen and he can smash obstacles out of the way if he needs to. Sun is smiling doubling down on his efforts here as well. So loads and loads of positivity. A bit of a hint of religion, because this is kind of like a bishop's crook, the way the top of this wand is capped here. And there's gargoyles, there's quite religious imagery in this here. But it's not about any one particular religion, it's about the only religious thoughts that really matter. What you think, what you feel about the divine, what you feel about God, where you're being led to, where you're being taken. So with that, friends, that is the 5 cards in our spread today from the amazing Lost Tarot of Nostradamus. I love this deck. I'm going to have to read more from it, actually. I think we might do one every week from this deck, because it's kind of fun, you know, to look at the tarot in a different way and see the different meanings there are within it. And tarot is such a great depth, massive depth of wisdom. Why not look at it in lots of different ways, eh? Why ever not? Okay, friends, there we go. Okay, so we're back in the trees to say goodbye. Thanks very much for watching, guys. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, because that's going to let you stay tuned, which is what is a good thing to do with the Twig Brother channel, because there are more videos coming all the time and live streams 3 times a week, Sundays, Wednesdays and Fridays, and there was actually an extra one this Monday as well. Maybe there'll be even more, who knows, but hit the subscribe button, then you won't miss out and you'll get a notification whenever I go live, which at the moment is Sundays Sundays and Wednesdays at 3 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. UK time, and on Friday we go a bit later because it's kind of end of the week and everyone finishes work. So 5 p.m. Central, 11 p.m. UK time, we're live on Fridays. I love the lives and you guys seem to like them too, so we'll keep them going because it lets me actually pull cards individually for you rather than kind of you know, lump your luck in with everyone else on YouTube and pick a card for yourself. I'm sure it works because the psychic sensors work, but there's nothing like doing it live. It's close, it's personal, so hit the subscribe and you'll get a notification. Thumbs up, please, if you've enjoyed this one, guys. It helps the algorithm, it helps the channel no end, keeps the psychics, the mediums of YouTube at the forefront of what the algorithm is thinking about, and that's where it needs to be for all of our sakes. So yeah, drop a like, hit the subscribe, leave a comment, we'll share the journey. If you'd like a private reading, my Gmail address is down there in the comments below, and you can email me, we'll fix something up. We can go on Zoom, we can go on Skype, we can use Instagram or Facebook Messenger services. There are all kinds of different ways of doing it. Also astrology, birth charts, find out exactly where the planets stood at the time of your birth and what they mean for you with very detailed descriptions. Drop me an email, 35and83@gmail.com, and if you're possibly able to help me with my spiritual work, I would be very, very grateful for that. There is my PayPal link down in the description below as well, and also a link to my Ko-fi page where in theory you get pictures of my garden and what's going on in my home life and some behind the scenes stuff. I haven't actually uploaded to that for quite a while for various reasons, but I'm sure I will soon actually, because as you can see in the picture behind me, summer is turning to fall. Those leaves are becoming yellow, but it's still beautiful. So check out the Ko-fi page and you know, have fun with it. Have fun with your lives, enjoy yourselves, and I'll see you again in a future video, friends. Love, light, blessings, and of course, peace.